Well, welcome back to another episode of Film Talk. I'm your host, Faith, with our co-host and amazing brother Logan, and
Hello.
our special guest Sarah. Hello,
Hello,
Sarah.
hello.
How are you guys?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm
Good.
doing real good. Thank you for asking.
Good. Good. You know, we all have up days and down days, don't we? It's all a question of how we navigate them.
And
Yeah.
how do you feel on this good if we ever made some?
Sorry, love, I didn't catch that.
Talking about making mistakes
And but learning from them.
and learning
Oh,
from
absolutely. That's what life is all about. You know, failure is only something when you give up, right? You
Unless
fail
you're
to
watching
do.
horror movies, then you give that up.
That you give that up, exactly. But
Nope.
you know, it's never give up and never give in, and it's getting back up. You know, life come and knocks us down, but how do we get back up? That's the important thing. How do we get back up?
You turn off the horror movies. So Logan, what are we doing today? What are we talking about?
We're gonna talk about Sarah's book series.
Yes, our Forgotten Children book series,
Yes.
of which Victoria has contributed a chapter. So it's an anthology where other
Yeah.
people have contributed chapters too. And it's all about our children that we're leaving behind because we're not paying attention to their needs and the fact that the system is broken and we need to fix it. And we can't fix things if we're unaware of them. So this book is an awareness book to bring about what issues are at need to be talked about and what we can do to resolve them.
So tell us a little bit other than like that, tell us a little bit about it. Other than like tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, you know, like Victoria's contributed chapter in there, and each person has come from where they're at with children, whether they work with children, they've had children, or they have a child that it has challenges. And each person has contributed what the problem is and what they've done to resolve it and what more needs to be done. So it's coming, there's 14 chapters, and it's coming from different people from different walks of life, different ages, different cultures, but they're each talking about from their own expertise or their own experience what they feel the problem is and what we need to do about it.
What came about for you to write the book? Like what made you feel like you had to write the book?
Very good question, Logan, because actually this has been a book that's been on my mind for about 5 years. For 5 years, I've wanted to do it, and the timing wasn't right. And then this year is like, it's going to get done, no matter what the obstacles are, it's going to get done. And I feel from all the shows that I've done through podcasting for 11 and a half years, you're always talking about our children. If an adult is injured emotionally, it generally goes back to their childhood. People redirecting in their career is because they were denied what they wanted to do when they were children, had to live up to the expectation of go and get a degree and, you know, marry 2.2 kids, picket fence and be unhappy because everybody told them that the outside life was more important than the inside life. And so having listened to all of those shows for so long, I realized we really needed a book that addressed what the root problem is on our children and what we need to do about it. So it's an awareness book.
Good. I have one more question, and then Faith, if you want to ask. Was there any specific incident that caused you to write it, or you just thought to write it?
I think it's an accumulation. I have 3 children. I've been a roller coaster. I have gray hair for a reason. I have had roller coaster rides with my own children. Plus, I've worked with children. I was that home that other kids came to when they were having problems at home. And I also had my own upbringing that was lacking in certain areas. So I think it's something that's always been very close to my heart. So it's not one thing, it's an accumulation of things.
Faith, anything you'd like to include?
The whole timeline of the book. What part of the book is your favorite?
Oh, there is no favorite. I don't have favorites. It's like an orchestra. You know, each chapter creates that wonderful musical tone in an orchestra. And when they all come together, it creates a symphony that really resonates out. But when people read the book, there's going to be a chapter that's going to speak to them more than the other chapters. And that's probably a reflection of where they're at right now, or what they're dealing with in their own life, a reflection of how they were brought up. So, although I know you want me to say your mums, and your mums will always be at the top of the list, but it is about that compilation of everyone coming together. And I think that's really where the music lies.
Faith, would you like to continue? Because I asked 3, so if you'd like to add anything, feel free.
So when you write a book, how do you feel about the whole thing?
Pride, you know, pride of it coming together, finally coming together. And what it means, what it stands for, because as I said, it stands for hope, it stands for education, it stands for invitation and inspiration, but it's also going to support every person that has contributed is supporting another organization that works with children. So in your case, in your mum's case, it would be supporting the work she does, or supporting the beautiful puppies that you're raising, which are supportive of other children. And so the money from the book gets distributed amongst the authors and then goes and supports the organizations that they're supporting. So I call it the book that keeps on giving.
May I excuse myself for just a moment to go use the restroom?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Oh.
So,
So
is
Faith,
it the first book you written?
sorry, darling, is it?
She wants to know, is this your first book you've written?
No. I'm just contributing a chapter in it. I've done a couple of chapters. In fact, I'm actually in another book, Dare to be Brave. I've just put a chapter in that. Plus, we did a book back in 2017, an ebook on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. And I didn't contribute in that one. I just orchestrated it. And I've just finished writing my own memoir, which will be coming out before Christmas.
What was the Contagious one about?
What was the Dare to be Brave about?
It's about what challenge we had to kind of refer to a challenge in life. You know, where we had to find our bravado, where we had to find our courage, and you know what we did about it. So it's like what's not any one particular situation, but in life itself. You know what? Where do we find that courage? How do we find to be brave? What made us brave, and how do we continue to be brave? So the chapter was around that.
What is your courage?
My particular contribution on it was the daring to be me, to be different, that it was okay that I wasn't mainstream, that I was somebody that worked to a different beat of life, and that although I've had a lot of pushback, you can say, for being different in my life, it was daring to be brave to being me. So no matter what.
How are you different?
Victoria?
How do you think you're different?
I'm different because I'm a very, very spiritual person, and I live completely by the heart and the soul. That's where my truth is, and that's where I follow. And I'm able to see people for who they really are, not the facade that they carry. And I think that now is becoming more mainstream. More and more people are embracing their heart and soul and coming from that space. But growing up, it wasn't something that was embraced. So that's why I'm different. I don't follow mainstream.
And how do you see my mom?
He wants the in on how you see her mom.
How do I see here? Well, your mom is 100% heart and soul. 100%. Everything she does from the heart. She does because she cares. She does because she knows, but by caring, she can make a difference and she can be support. I started another genre on the thing called Supporting the Supporters. And that really was because I wanted to support your mum on the work that she's doing in supporting other people. Your mum is a capital supporter, capital, right? But one thing she's got to learn is balance and to let other people support her as well and take time to rejuvenate. And that's important. Maybe you can help her with that.
Have met her since one stubborn you.
I know. I'm always lecturing her. Switch off the computer. Go do something different. Yes, I know. She's that. Yes, we have to redirect her sometimes. But yes, your mum is just pure heart. Pure heart. She does everything because she cares. And you're very, very lucky to have a mum like that. Because I've interviewed so many people whose mums didn't care about them, that were abusive, either mentally or physically. And their mums really shattered their lives. And having caring mother is a great gift. All mothers should be caring. Not all mothers are. Some of them don't know how because they're coming from an injured space themselves. And some of them don't care enough. They're too much wrapped up in themselves. But when you've got a mum that really does care for you, then that is a gift from God. It really is.
I have a question.
Yes.
How long did it take you to write the book?
My book?
Yes.
I wrote it last year in August and got the bulk of it done. But it's taken me a year to edit it just purely because I'm so busy and I haven't been able to give it the time. I'm actually at the final stage. I am just finishing reading the chapters for any little mistakes. And then it goes to the people that convert it into Kindle, and then it goes up on Amazon. So it's almost there. I'm at that very last stage now. But it's kind of daunting writing your own story when you read it back, you know? And you always think, well, should I have done this differently? Should I have said this? Should I add that? And I think we have to get rid of the shoulds. I let it
Things
flow
happen
out
for a
of
reason.
me. Absolutely. It's the story is told for a reason. It's not linear. It does jump about a bit. Some of the stuff is repetitive because then it is addressing something else. But yeah, it's at some point you have to just let it go and let it go out there. And it will be received how it's going to be received. And I have no control over that.
How did Victoria become a part of the book?
Because I asked her, a very valuable part to have her in the book because of her experience of working with children and coming from the platform that she has. She fully understands what children need. So yeah, I mean, come on, she's a kid's hero. Of course, she had to be in a book.
She's an MVP.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, I think MVP stands for most valuable player, but I see MVP as most valuable person.
And you've got it right there. You've got it right there. Absolutely. Yeah, the big supporter, right?
Yeah.
Of everybody. Absolutely. So yes, and it's good to have somebody. I mean, this is the important thing to know, and I'm sure you know this, Faith, is you can be a biological mother, right? But you can also be mothering to other people, right?
Yeah.
You can be a mother to other people, and Victoria definitely is a mother to other people as well. And I've taken that role on too. My son, who's runs his own business, etc. What he says, this is my mum, and she could be your mama too.
Now these kids have gotten an exclusive look at some of the chapters of the book. What have you guys got to say? Maybe Miss Sarah can ask you some questions.
Yes, exactly. Which chapter did you read, and what did you get out of it?
What I read was about Alan, Phoenix Performance, with Alan and his special going Phoenix, help like face through challenges and go through everything in their path.
I got part of that. Victoria, would you mind?
She is talking about Alex and Phoenix and how they got over all of their challenges and journeyed together.
And that's what it's about. You know, we're all going to face challenges in life. And some of them we're going to like and some of them we're not. And some of them we've just got to go, okay, I have to do this. It's like when a woman is pregnant, she's got to give birth. There is no if and about it. At some point, that baby's going to have to come out. And do we know it's going to be painful? Yes, we do. But it's worth it in the end. So sometimes we have to push ourselves through challenges. So everything is worth it if you believe in what the outcome can be. It's the outcome.
Now,
Right?
Logan has a favorite part that he thought was hysterical. Why don't you tell Sarah what was so funny?
I like in the first chapter how it starts. I thought it was funny.
Why did you find it funny?
I didn't find it funny. I felt the chapters, very real, but like the beginning of it when it starts talking about the teacher and the little girl, and it talks about it's starting to say like the D word. I found that, I that got a little chuckle out of me. But in general, the rest of the series, it was very, I felt it felt very real.
That's good. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Did you feel that it was speaking to what you want other adults to hear?
Yeah, I loved it. It was so real. It was very pure. It was, very, it was my expectation plus more.
Good. You see, that's what when we've written this book for adults as we're representing children, but to actually have children reading it and going, it feels real, right?
Yeah.
I can identify with it. It means that we are honestly speaking to what you need to be heard, right? This whole thing about children should be seen and heard, and not heard. It was a ridiculous thing way back in the dark ages, even in my time, right? So we need to listen to our children. We need to hear them, not just the things that they're upset about, but all the things they're excited about.
Yes.
We can learn from our children. Our children are beautiful creation. And when we learn and get infused by our own children, that is when we grow. It's not us lording over you. It is us guiding you and taking that very responsibly, but at the same time, understanding there is a partnership. I have a tattoo on my shoulder, which looks like a butterfly, but it's actually two butterflies meeting. And the two butterflies meeting, it represents my children and myself. It's my partnership with my children. The Celtic runes Gifu, the X, which is the gift. And I think when we look at our children as a gift to us, a gift to society, a responsibility of that gift and how we value it, how we honor it, and how we nurture it, then we will actually be feeding those possibilities and those creativities that are needed out in the world.
I just wanted to say when you said that you guys can learn from your children, I just wanted to say thank you for saying that, because some mothers, even fathers, sometimes when they say that, they won't admit that. So I just wanted to say thank you for saying that.
No, and if any parents are listening out there, please, your children are here to teach you just as much as you are there to teach them. And just because you have journeyed further than them, that doesn't mean, your children, you're custodians of your children. They are not your product. You don't own them. You own the responsibility to bring them up and nurture them, but you don't own them. They're their own entity. And see their light, keep that light on, keep their curiosity growing, believe in them, allow them to explore. And in doing so, they will ignite a light in you that you didn't know you had.
I think it's as if like a kid has wings, the mother could either rip the wings off and stomp on them, or they could help them expand to fly away eventually.
Exactly. And not just because a person has a child doesn't mean that everybody's equipped to be a good parent.
Yeah.
And some people don't know how. Some people are coming from the experience of how they were brought up. And some people just never should have children. That's just the way it is. And it's unfortunate if you are the child of any of those type of parents. But you are your own person. You can find your own courage. You can find your own strength, your own resilience, and you can find your own path within those parameters of their parenting. But you can. The stories I've heard from people who have been so abused as children,
Yeah.
and things that never should happen to kids, but who they became because they chose. They chose to be better. They chose to rise up. They chose to be stronger.
Yep.
And who they are today is a beacon of hope and inspiration to everyone else, just like Victoria.
Yeah,
Faith.
Mom is incredible, alright. And once I know about her, and I feel good anything for me, because she loves me.
Exactly. That kind of love between a mother and a child is a bond that nothing can break. It can be hurt, right? It can be hurt.
It can be tested.
Of course, it can be tested because that's part of your growth, to test the limits, but you've also got to respect when those limits are enough. I think knowing what you're testing. Are you testing something because you want to grow from it? Are you testing something by just being ornery or being angry? Because especially a mum like Victoria, everything she does for you, she does for the betterment of you, for the betterment of caring for you, like she does with Logan. She's a carer. She can't be anything else but a carer. It's in her DNA. So when she cares, that means all of her love is put forth there. If you're going to challenge authority, okay, but give a reason why and make sure it's not hurting you or hurting anyone else. But don't challenge authority just because, and then it becomes a detriment to anyone else. That is not wisdom. And you want to be able to step into your own wisdom and trust your own gut and your own soul and going, is this right? We've all challenged our parents. Believe me, my mother had a few gray hairs because of me. I was quite a challenging teenager.
No,
I know, but I couldn't quite challenge myself. I wasn't. Look at
Well,
non no one here who can be as clever and hard-headed you.
are you a stubborn individual?
Yeah.
Well,
Not as
that's
stubborn as her, but
Wait, what?
still.
not as stubborn as me.
Not in the middle. I am as stubborn as Kanai from back then.
I don't agree with that statement.
I'm stubborn, but you never are more.
This is not about me. This is about Miss Sarah and the amazing book she's putting out.
well, it's also let's hit the stubborn button, because this is pushing back, right? We were all going to do it with our parents, right? This is pushing back. And it's at what point does a parent say, enough? Detriment is here. This is either damaging the relationship or it's damaging someone in the relationship, right? So at one point you have to go, okay, I can't push any further. I have to surrender to the greater good. So there's pushing and challenging, and there's pushing too far. And you've got to know when you're pushing too far. That's part of growing up. That's part of learning, of knowing, okay, I've overstepped the boundary here. Now I'm in a land that really isn't serving anybody. Nobody's benefiting here. It's dangerous land. So then you have to pull back and go, okay, maybe I need to articulate myself in a different way, in a way that isn't going to cause so much pain on both sides, but it is going to be something that I feel I'm getting my message across, right? So if one way isn't working because too many people are getting hurt from it, then just stop, because it's not working. Pull back and go, how else can I express myself? This is what we need to do with our children. This is what part of the book is about. Learning to listen to our children in the way that they want to speak to us. When they get angry and they play up, it's because they're trying to express something that they haven't got the words or the emotion around the words to say. So we need to listen. But if you're putting yourself in harm's way anywhere along the line there, then as a parent, we can't let that happen. because that's not what parenting is about. It's to protect you. It's to nurture you. It's to love you and see you blossom. And if you put yourself in harm's way, you're not only hurting yourself, and sometimes irreversibly, but you're hurting the parent who's trying to do the best for you. And if you feel, okay, I'm not being heard, then you've got to find a different way to express yourself that isn't hurting anyone. Because when you start hurting out of spite, or because you're trying to get a point across, that hurt starts to grow and grow and grow. And it can cause damage that sometimes you can't come back from. So know how to articulate what it is you're wanting to say. All children, listen to this. We want as parents to help you grow and blossom and be beautiful adult human beings in the future. But we can only help you so far. You've also got to help yourselves. And if you're wanting to say something or do something differently, you've got to give a valid reason why, if it's putting your life in jeopardy. And you've got to give or something else that you want to do instead. And if it can't be done for whatever reason, then you have to accept that. But you've been heard. And that means that going forward, different approaches can be taken. Right? We're going to hear you more if you come to us with an open heart, rather than if you're going to play up. Because if you play up and get angry and try to just define us despite us, that puts a different mother and father on guard, right? Now, because we've stepped into fear. We've stepped into fear that you're going to hurt yourself. We've stepped into fear that you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're not going to be able to get out of it. And when a parent is in fear, well, all you have to do is look at nature when you see any of the young in danger, right? So there's always a give and take. And if you want to be heard or you want to do something different, you research what it is you want to do different. Can it be done? Is it valid in this situation? Does there need some compromise on both sides? We'll try this while doing that. But anytime you're putting yourself in danger or challenge your parent to such a point, to a breaking point, is not healthy for any relationship. Balance and boundaries and respect of each other. Learn to listen and learn to speak to hear.
I love that woman.
The book covers a lot of that. In fact, actually, I have two mothers in there with, I'm going to get this wrong. It's kind of a violent disorder. It's when children are growing up and they are mad all the time. They're angry all the time. They become violent and frustrated because simple things they can't do. And in that frustration and throwing things around, they're perceived as violent and as dangerous. And all they are is this, they've got this rage inside of them that they don't know how to calm down and they don't know how to articulate. And it's been absolutely hell for these parents because nobody knew what was wrong with the kid and nobody knew what to do about it when they found out. And this is the reason why they've contributed their chapters, is to talk about the hell journey they went through, but what they're doing now and what we can do when we meet children like that. They're not being naughty. They're just trying to express something that they haven't found the words for, or dealing with a frustration that they don't know how to deal with. So both sides have to work together in order to find that lovely rhythm and equilibrium. It's two-sided.
Gives good advice.
Faith, anything you wanna?
I really have anything except one simple mom.
What? I'm not this one.
Yeah, I'm saying some people can slow down.
Wait a minute. What do you mean I need to learn to slow down?
40 hours of work, remember?
You want to go there? Okay.
Well,
Well, sure. Welcome to the debate. So you are upset that I work 20 hours a day, 7 days a week?
oh, I have every single thing.
Well, if I had some help, and Sarah, I'm sure is going to back me, Then I wouldn't have to work 20 hours a day to get everything done 7 days a week.
And how do I know how to help with a little country and all that?
Well, you help by learning how to do some of these amazing things. You guys, Logan and you, have 40 plus million followers. That doesn't happen overnight. You two obviously know what you two are doing. But I can't do everything by myself in an 8-hour day. So it takes me longer. Plus, I'm one hand down, and it takes me longer to do things. But if I had help, see, Miss Sarah's applauding for me because I never ask for help because I don't get it. Then
no, but you've got to ask for help. You have to delegate.
Yeah.
Right? You have to delegate. You have to say, look, I can't do this. Somebody else has to do that, or it doesn't happen. Or it doesn't happen. So, Victoria, you've got to delegate. And if they're unwilling to do it, then it's not going to happen.
But you have not taught me how to help with the company.
well, if I could get you just to even clean your room first, then I'd be happy to teach you.
Well, no putting that in there.
I am bringing that in this.
I want bag, and go on clean up.
You know that this is their show and your show, not me. I'm just producing.
That's okay. It's no, this is actually epitome of what this is all about, parent and children.
Help me out.
I'm going to be on both sides here as a Libran, all right, is that yes, Mum, I've said it all the time, not 20 hours a day. If there's some things that you have to let go of because you haven't got the time to do it, then you let go. And if somebody thinks it's important for you to do, then they've got to step in and help you. And this goes to all the listeners out there. I've asked you over and over again to volunteer with Victoria and help her out with some of the things that you can do virtually. You don't have to be there. You can be just virtually take things off her hand because she's only got one hand. Okay. So please step up. She's a woman that is a giver all the time. And I hear you, Faith. I keep nagging at her not to work 20 hours a day. There has to be a compromise here. But Faith, what can you do to help your mum? You've got two hands. What can you take off her hand that you can do?
If you can do the company, then we'll be able to help out.
I can't even get you to do your schoolwork, which is on the printer.
Oh, maybe. Sometimes. Not mine, but literally and not on that school system.
Well, then how are you going to put your mind to helping me on the computer when I can't even get you to put your laundry away?
Once you slow down.
I can't slow down because I'll be tripping over clothes and things everywhere.
Okay, so here's the compromise. Faith, you do your part. Homework done. You do your own laundry. You pick things up. And maybe you can take the garbage out. You can do other things. You can say, what can I do? And I'm going to commit to that. But Mum, if I commit to that for everything that I do, 10 minutes is taken off your work days.
I have honestly offered that, Miss Sarah. I've already offered that. And it never happened.
Okay, Faith, this is balls in your court now. What are you going to do? Right? So say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to take care of my own stuff. And I'm going to take on something else. And in doing that, Mum, for everything that I do as a chore, 10 minutes comes off your work time. Mum, you agree?
No, but you don't hold your end up. I hold mine up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do too.
No, you do
Not
not.
all the time, I do.
Okay, so now starting from scratch today, Faith is going to do that, and she's not going to back down from it, right, Faith?
No.
Right, you're going to do it. You're going to do what your responsibility is. And then for everything that you do, and you can say, okay, I've done my homework, I've done my laundry, what else can I do? And then, Mum, you're going to take 10 minutes off that work time.
But it took you 3 weeks.
No, it took me until 1 a.m. the other day.
Okay, hold on. You didn't continually work until 1 a.m. because I know for a fact my gorgeous, beautiful heart and soul, this is where she's going to be quiet. And Logan's going to laugh. Because I know for a fact that for several hours you were downstairs
Oh, no.
snuggling Maverick and watching television until 1 a.m.
Oh no. No.
Do you want me to call you out and all your millions of
I'll
followers?
watch the at least, and then I'm not friends. Where
My
my
little land. No, my
Victoria spilling the tea.
lamb. No, my
Uh,
little lamb. No.
Okay,
No.
yeah.
Have you not learned by now the power of your mother with proof?
I have not learned my house, but I am.
9:18 p.m. You're on the couch with Maverick. Right there. See the video?
I
Look at that.
I wasn't pulling Maverick.
Maverick is on your stomach.
No.
Okay, guys, time out. All right. So I think what both of you have to do is make a commitment contract to each other that you would both agree to sign and up here. All right. It's all very well going back and forth talking and then talking over each other. How about you write down expectations, things that you expect me to do, things that I can do, and things I'm willing to do.
Miss Sarah,
And then hold yourselves up to that.
We have and then there's a video right there of you at 10:30. So I have a wipe on, wipe off board in the hall right outside of her bedroom where I used to put on there, today is trash day, or we have to do laundry today. It's not like I'm asking her to clean the roof. It's all teenage appropriate age things. And then I said, hey, if we do this, then we'll do something fun. And it gets erased, and then things between her and Michael get put there instead.
Okay, so Faith, you live up to your thing. Mom will live up to hers. Write it down. Have it where you can tick it off once it's done. If you need a reminder, that's okay. Once you tick it off, you're done. The reward is time with Mom without working. But still, folks, anybody listening, if you feel that you can help Victoria in all the work that she does virtually, please step up. Please. She's out there making a difference in the lives of others. Let's make a difference in their lives so they can continue to do the work that they do. Teamwork, orchestra. It's not about one instrument hogging the whole orchestra. It's about everybody getting in there and playing their piece and playing it in harmony. Harmony is what we need to be after. There is enough confrontation in the world. We need harmony. And that means everyone needs to step up and go, what can I do? How can I contribute? What am I empowered to do? And then commit to it. Commit to it. No excuses on anybody's table. Right? That's called teamwork. And when the team works together, that means the team gets to play together.
I think Victoria is the true superhero here.
You think Victoria what?
I said I think you're the true superhero here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think you and Faith are the superheroes.
I think you're the viral superhero.
Love that kid.
She makes your superheroism happen, right?
Yes,
she's giving
that's what
you a
I always
platform.
tell her.
Yes.
I give her credit for my superheroism, and then
Exactly.
she never takes it.
Well, that's something, Victoria, you've got to learn to do, all right? Accept the gratitude.
I have to tell you, Logan has to tell you what he said to me right after he spoke to me after my amputation that has been engraved into my soul because it was one of the sweetest things ever said, ever, by anyone. And I absolutely appreciate it, love it. You have to say what you said because it meant the world to me. He has no idea.
What, you don't need an arm to be beautiful?
Exactly. Right. Yes. Beauty is not an exterior thing. It's an interior thing. And when somebody is beautiful from the inside out, they exude it. It enters the room before they do. Right. And, you know, Victoria is one of those people. But yes, she has got to learn to receive. Right. She has got to learn to open up and let other people help her because she's the big helper. Been there, done that. I was one of those people, and I'm still one of those people to a point, but I've learned boundaries because if I don't, I pay the health price, and I haven't got that price to pay. So we still got to teach Victoria a few things, right? And not gang up on her, but to say, I'm taking this off your plate, or this doesn't need to be done right now. You're taking some time out. Right, Victoria?
Yes, ma'am.
I've never met Victoria, but you know, her soul is beautiful. Yes. And one thing that I say, and I've never met her, her presence is beautiful, virtually, physically, although I've never physically met her, I know it is. but I've only met her virtually, and virtually, her presence is very beautiful.
Exactly, because we've got to understand we're all energy. And energy doesn't have any walls. It doesn't have a containment. It's not something that just comes down a wire. When we have an energy that vibrates on a higher vibration, that vibration of love, that higher vibration of love ripples out. It goes out like sound waves. And Victoria's got a very high antenna. And that ripple sound waves just goes out, and anybody that listens feels it. And that's what you're doing, is you're feeling her love completely.
Well, I have to say, I've known Logan for a little while now, and he grabbed a hold of me the minute I met him, and he wanted to do a podcast, and he did amazing. And then I asked if he would host, and Logan and I have a very close relationship. I think of him as like mine, his second mom. I'll never try to replace the first.
Absolutely not my brother.
Yeah, exactly. Your brother.
I love that Logan calls me all the time and texts me and tells me that he wants to talk about something, or he had a bad day and he wants to talk. And I love that we have that open communication where we can just shut everybody else out and it's just us, and we listen to each other and we support one another. And that's what it's about, because Logan has one of the most beautiful, purest souls and biggest hearts. And I am so honored, because Logan doesn't realize how much he means to me. And when he's like, hey, can we talk? I light up like a Christmas tree. So it means so much. And I can't thank him enough for that.
And Faith, for you, having that brother that you didn't have, right? Having that somebody that's your confidant, somebody that you can share with, somebody that you have a bond with, is very, very special, isn't it?
It is. When I first met Logan, I thought of him as like a friend, honestly. But the more I got to know him, the more I realized he was more than that. He became my little brother.
Yes.
And I promised myself that ever since I thought of him, that I promised myself I'll always look out for him.
And vice versa.
He'll always be my brother.
Well, and you're just as much his family. As his own family, and this is something that people need to understand too. Family is blood, yes, but family is people that make you feel like family. It doesn't always have to be blood, right? But it's people that you care about. That's really where the loving vibration is. That's where the family vibration is. It's people that you care about. It's not about territory and this is mine. This is all about, how do we care for each other? And we make those people family, because that's the orchestra that Victoria's found here with you kids and with other people. You've created that beautiful rhythm that exudes out of both of you, and that gives other people hope. You're both facing physical challenges that I know that other people will never understand, challenges that an older person would understand, never mind a young person who's full of vibrancy and being able to do this and do that, and you two can't do that. Yet look at who you are. You're out there all the time, inspiring other people, looking to the sunny side of the street, believing in life, even though life is challenging you on a daily basis. You are the heroes. You are the inspiration. You are the people that are lighting up the way for other people, saying, no matter what you're given, no matter how hard the struggle is, if you believe in yourself and if you believe in the greater good, you can rise up above it. You can go through it and you can come out the other side. And both of you will have lifelong. This is not something you're going to get over and put behind you. You're going to have these health challenges all your lives. But you've got it. You've got the strength. You've got the ability. You've got the power within you to face it. You've got each other when times are bad. You've got Victoria to lean on, right? And you've got Victoria who's the wind on your back, both of you. And the reason why you have so many followers and so many people are inspired by you, and you're the reason why this book is out there, is to show such inspiration from our children, and that we need to listen and we need to learn. We need to be inspired. We need to be encouraged by kids like you. because of what you face every single day. And you do it with grace. And I know sometimes you get frustrated, and I know sometimes you get angry, and you have every right to. But you both face life with such grace. And that grace is beautiful. Please never lose that. Neither one of you, however tough it gets, don't lose your grace, because it truly is illuminating.
When I just wanted to put out there, when I don't know if I've ever told Victoria this myself, but when I first met Victoria, I think it was maybe it's been about a year, right?
A little more than that, yeah.
Maybe, yeah, a little. Wow, time flies. So when I first met her, I was like, oh, this is cool. It's fun. It's, something to do, because when I was, when Victoria finally asked me to, to host this and help her in faith with this, I was in like a cage where, like, I my brother, he was, doing stuff. My sister was doing drama in school. She had things to do. And I used to do drama, and, I tried for theater and stuff, and nothing was working my way. So when when Victoria first came to me and said, hey, you wanna help out? I, said yes, because, it's finally, hey, something for me to do. And, you know, I didn't think anything like this, like very, like, I didn't get like very, like, I didn't think like I'd be like this involved and stuff. I didn't think it'd be this fun to do. I just thought, oh, hey, it's something to do. Let's, hopefully this lasts. Cause at the time, if I got into something that didn't really last, so I was like, oh, let's see if this lasts. And now here we are now, and I'm so honored to be doing this. And, I'm honored to know Victoria and Faith. I'm honored to know that I have Victoria to confide in when I need to. It's an amazing, it's like we're all a big family, and I love it.
That's the gift. That's the gift of togetherness. That's the gift of, of allowing. You allowed yourself to take the journey, and look at how it's rewarded you, right? And look at how you are inspiring. Both of you are inspiring other people. We've got people out there that are physically abled, that don't have money problems, don't need to worry about the next food on the table. And yet they moan all the time about what they haven't got. And they don't realize how lucky they are. And that in a lot of ways, they've become prisoner to having too much. They have become a prisoner to being given too much. Because, like it or not, we are here to struggle as human beings, because it's through the struggle that we discover our strength, our resilience, our abilities, and our meaningful purpose. And so when people are given it all and they don't have any struggle themselves, they don't have the same appreciation or respect for life. And when you are given a struggle, and maybe every day is a struggle, or just some days are a struggle, you appreciate what you've got, and you appreciate the good days, and you value the people that are around you, that are there for you. And that actually makes you a deeper, more caring, loving, respectful, and abundant human beings above people who are perceived to have it all. So never, ever underestimate the impact that you're having on people, because through both of your strifes, you are an example to all of us of never give up, never give in. Good days and bad days, but I'm going to put a smile on my face. I'm going to face life, and I'm going to embrace life every single day. No one is promised tomorrow. I don't care who you are, how rich, how popular, how many likes you have. No one is promised tomorrow. It's what we do today that counts. Who we are today that counts. The impact that we have today on ourselves and on everyone else, that counts. And you're doing it. So thank you. Thank you for being the inspiration for other children. And thank you for being a great reminder to parents.
Okay, would you like to take us out?
Sure. Thank you for watching another Contagious Smiles Teen Talk podcast. Sarah, thank you for being a part of this and sharing some inspirational words.
Can I just give the link that people can go and support it on? Because it's supporting the book. and the raising of the money to get everything done and supporting the whole platform that it's doing. So they can go to the orchardofwisdom.org// Our Forgotten Children book. And on there, they'll get to meet the authors and to all the webinars that are coming up. They can donate, which helps us produce this book. And this book will soon be out. We hope to have it out by Christmas, and then, or if not, for pre-order by Christmas. And then we want people to then have a conversation with each of the authors on their chapter in the book and then learn and expand on this even more. So our Forgotten Children book on the orchardofwisdom.org. Thank you, Logan.
No problem. So thank you for sharing some inspirational words. Thank you for coming on and being a part of this and taking some time away to do this.
Anytime.
Thank you, Faith, for helping me. And this was another Contagious Smile. Teen Talk. Bye.
Bye now.
Keep smiling.